Say Selenium class 33 TestNG testing framework for Selenium part 4 last part. See, so far we discussed 6 concepts. 7th concept today, that is important concept, data driven testing using data provider. Can you list out the 6 concepts, Ravindra? Already we discussed. First one, TestNG framework for Selenium.
Yeah, overview of TestNG framework.
Introduction to
TestNG.
yes. Introduction to TestNG or TestNG framework. Okay. Next,
Install TestNG.
good. Install TestNG
TestNG
and
and write test case. TestNG test case.
yes, and write first TestNG. First TestNG
Test
test the
case.
case. Next, third concept.
Create multiple test cases.
Good. Create, okay, multiple test cases. I think 7 topics. And run. Next, just a minute.
Executing multiple programs
Yes.
or classes using
First
XML
creating
file.
and executing, then executing. Okay. Create and execute
Multiple
programs, not test cases. Or you can say
or classes.
multiple classes, Java classes using XML file. Next, just a minute, Ravindra, continue. Sushma, continue. Total 8 topics, I think. 7 completed. 8th one, last one, important one, data driven testing using data provider. Today we are going to discuss. 5th one.
Grouping test case.
Grouping. Good. Grouping test cases and run. Okay. Next.
Parallel test.
Okay. 4, 5, 6. Any other, Ravindra? Isn't it?
Parallel
Parallel, okay. Before parallel, yesterday 3 only. Okay. Parallel testing. Parallel test execution. Next, last one today.
Data driven.
Data driven testing. Data driven testing. All of you put mute. Using data provider. It is annotation of TestNG. Data provider annotation. Data driven testing using data provider. See, earlier, observe Ahalya, earlier we discussed data driven testing. We conducted data driven testing in 2 ways. One is using loop without test data file, without resource, but some limitations. Using loop or using programming logic, we can conduct less or low amount data only. Next, second one, using text file as resource. Ahalya, getting this point? Using text file as resource, we conducted data driven testing na. Java can handle flat files na.
Yeah.
Using file reader and buffer reader, we fetch data from external text file and connect it to test case. Okay, this time Excel. Continue, Ahalya, then you need to guide me. Here today I am going to discuss two examples. One is our test case example, another is numeric example, understanding point of view. Observe. My first example, read test data. Today I will give one or two assignments also. Read test data. What type of data? String type. String type. Read test data from Excel file and perform data driven testing. Data driven. Just a minute. Data driven testing for admin login functionality. This is one test case. Second one, general read test data. This time integer type data. Integer type. Observe Ravindra, one concept is there, not only in Java, you take UFT, VB script or any programming language. Whenever you read data, then computer program considers the data as string type data. Even though you read numbers, computer program considers the data as string type data only. If it is string, you can use the data directly. If it is integer type data, first you need to convert the data in order to perform mathematical calculations. Getting this point, Ravindra?
Yes, sir.
Say in VB script UFT. Do you have knowledge on UFT?
Yes, sir.
In VB script also, if you read data, you need to convert the data. For conversion, we have conversion functions, built-in functions available in Visual Basic Scripting Edition short form VB script. Example, CDBL, change a string to double, next cint, getting?
Yes, sir.
Here also conversion required. Now tell me, Sushma, when data conversion is required in computer programming? Suppose if you initialize the value, no need to convert. Suppose x equal to ABC, that is string only. Next y equal to 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3 integer only. You can directly use that 1, 2, 3 value for calculations. Suppose z equal to 10.537. You can directly use that z value 10.537. Just we initialized the value, you can use the as it is. But when data conversion is required in computer programming?
Like computer only read the string value. So if we have an integer type, then we have
Just
to
a minute.
convert into string
Repeat
type.
that one. Less clarity or no clarity in your explanation. Repeat. My question is, when data conversion is required in computer programming?
Like computer only read the string type value. So if even we get the integer.
Whenever, observe the explanation. Whenever we read data, then computer program considers the data as string type data. Even though you read numbers, the computer program considers the data as string type data. If it is string type data, you can use as it is. Suppose username, password, you can use directly in your test cases. If it is numeric values, first you need to convert the values in order to perform mathematical calculations. Getting?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, now Ahalya, are you following? Ahalya, data conversion concept. Did you follow?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Sumitra.
Yes, sir, I followed.
Okay, cool. See, second example, read test data, integer type data from Excel file. Read Excel file and perform or conduct data driven testing. Data driven testing. For example, general for addition, add for addition functionality. Addition functionality. Okay, these are the two. Okay, for second one, just addition functionality. We no need to write the steps. Guide me, observe Ahalya, and later you need to guide me. First one, admin functionality. I think all of you familiar with admin functionality. Tell me the manual test case, then we convert as automated test case and data driven test case. See, first manual test case. I think in our gcrit.com, all of you familiar with admin functionality. Guide me, Ahalya.
First, open launch browser.
First, test steps. Test steps. Launch the browser. If you create driver instance, then it will launch the browser with a blank URL. Next.
Then navigate to particular URL.
Yes, navigate to suppose a theoretical GCR shop admin interface. What is the URL of admin interface? Just a minute. Admin interface www.gcrit.com/admin. This is admin interface URL. User interface different. Just a minute. Okay, some text it generates. Okay, depends on browser. Okay, next, continue, Ahalya. Third step.
After navigation, enter the username and password.
Not a single step. Username one step, password another step. You cannot enter username and password in single Selenium WebDriver step.
Yeah. Admin login.
Be careful. Enter username. Next. Enter password. This is another step. Next. Click login button. This is general navigation. Next, verification point. Say capture the URL when after login. Capture the URL and compare with expected. Here compare for multiple data driven multiple sets of test data. Okay, 3 or 4 or something. Next, test data. I will prepare one set. test data. Here two fields require test data. One is username, it is string type data, admin. Next, another is password, admin at 123. Okay. Expected. Actually, we need to collect this type of expected values from development team. Okay, I'm collecting manually, but object or element details. Next, error messages, help messages, future URLs we need to collect from developers, otherwise execute manually and collect. But suppose if defects are there, if you execute manually also you cannot get correct value. That's why you collect this type of data from developers. Say test data, we prepare some test data. For example, phone number object takes 10-digit numeric values. For that we tester can prepare test data. We collect some data from developers, objects information, error messages, help messages, etc. We collect from developers. Next, some data we collect from customers also. For example, we need to test some business operations with cities. That cities depends on that city's information depends on customer business. We need to collect those cities information from customers. That's why term is test data collection. Test case preparation or test case design. Why? Testers only design test cases. But test data, some test data testers prepare, some test data testers have to collect from developers, some test data from customers also. So term is test data collection. Okay now, Ravindra, or any confusion?
No, sir, I'm fine.
Okay, good. Actually, it is manual testing concept. Okay, this is the expected URL. Actually, we need to collect from developers. Sometimes manual also you cannot get correct values due to some defects, maybe. Okay, continue Ahalya. It is data driven testing na. Some other steps. Prepare test data file. Prepare test data file. Observe Ahalya. Earlier we used text file, notepad as resource or test data file. Java programming can handle text files. See, file object is there, that is predefined object in Java programming. Next, file reader, buffered reader, file writer, buffered writer, etc. Objects are there, predefined objects. We can create instance and continue. But Excel, Java doesn't support Excel directly. We need to download third-party jar files, Java archive files. Those also predefined. For Excel, we have several third-party jars available in the internet. I'm going to use a JXL jar. You can, I will mail you other available jars also. You can try with them also. Okay. Next, one more thing. If you want to communicate with Excel files, you need to download third-party Excel jars and add to your Java project. Next, if you want to communicate with Word documents, download Word jars. If it is VB script, can you tell me, Ravindra, if it is VB script, if you want to communicate with flat files or text files, file system object model is there. Sub objects, text stream objects also there. If you want to communicate with Excel and Word in UFT, Unified Functional Testing, formerly QTP, then how?
So there is an inbuilt Excel in QTP, right?
Not in QTP.
The global sheet.
Not in QTP. VB script. Observe.
Flat file we can use.
Observe. In UFT, two possibilities are there. One is without programming, another is with programming. But in Selenium WebDriver, no without programming concept. Why? Selenium WebDriver is programming interface. Here
Programming based.
no tool
Yeah.
features. So each and everything we can perform or conduct using programming features only. But in UFT we have tool features as well as script or programming features, then we can conduct. Observe. Suppose in UFT data table feature is there na?
Yes, sir.
Using data table we can communicate with external text files and Excel files and database files also. For database files, we need to provide that DSN data source name. For flat files and Excel files, no interface required in between front end and back end. No mediator required. Okay, using data table of UFT tool, we can communicate with Excel files, external Excel files. Next, otherwise, in VB script, we have so many object models. For example, if you want to communicate with flat files or text files like Notepad, file system
File
object is
system
there,
object.
file system object is there, object model is there. If you want to communicate with the Excel dot application, Excel object model is there. You can create any
Yeah,
text in
excellent.
Excel. If you want to communicate with Word object model is there. If you want to communicate with databases, database object models are there. For Excel, single object. For Word, single object. For file system object, single. But for database in VB script, we have three object models. ADODB.connection, database connection object. ADODB.recordSet, record set object. ADODB.command, database command object. Using those VB script predefined object models, we can communicate with files and databases in UFT. Otherwise, you can use UFT tool feature data table without programming. Okay. But in VB script, files and database object models are predefined. But in Java, only flat files predefined. If you want to communicate with other than flat files, you need to import third-party jar files. If it is Excel or Word, anything. Getting this point, Ahalya, or any confusion?
No, sir, it's clear.
Okay, cool. Next, come to first. This is clear. Download Excel jar and extract. First task. Download
Sir, a
Excel.
small doubt, sir.
Pardon?
A small doubt, sir.
Tell me.
So, sir, even for data-driven testing, first we have to write the manual test cases and then write the program, sir. I mean, first, even for data-driven testing,
See,
manual test cases.
data-driven test cases also part of test cases, na?
Okay,
If
sir.
you write manual test cases or automated scenarios in Excel file like theoretical file, then you can easily automate Selenium WebDriver. You can easily automate using Selenium. Otherwise, it is not mandatory but standard. Several times I told it is standard, not mandatory, not rule.
Okay. So in real time, even if the company doesn't want any requirement for our understanding, we can write it and
yes, you can write
practice.
it. But no, I think no company asks like that. But if your company asks, you no need to write manual test cases or manual steps or automated test scenarios, theoretical. You directly write Selenium WebDriver test cases. That time you can follow that one. But I think no company asks like that.
Okay, sir.
Download Excel. Just a minute. See, if you have any plans or ideas, you mail me. See, now I think 20% dragging the program. Download Excel jars, third party, and extract. No need to install. Next, add Excel jar add Excel. It is single one. So for example, Selenium Java bindings multiple. Excel jar to Java project. Java project. Where? In Eclipse. In Eclipse IDE. Okay, now these two steps. Then TestNG. TestNG means here Selenium WebDriver plus Java plus TestNG. TestNG program or test cases. Observe Ahalya. Here I am going to download Excel, JXL jar. Other jars also available. All are third party only, but verified. You can use them. Suppose in our company we are using Excel jar, JXL jar. For example, JXL jar download. Observe Ravindra, Sushma, JXL jar download.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Here use first site. Otherwise, you can remember this site name. Java2s.com is there now.
Yes, sir.
Java2s.com. Here, Excel file. Observe. Scroll down first. Scroll down. Here, Fluffy symbol is there now. 556K. It is zip file. After extraction, you can get nearly 700 KB. Okay, this is second time I downloaded. Okay, this simple one. After that, you go to downloads. Second time I downloaded. Okay, leave. After that, I extracted. Just extract to something. Observe Ahalya. This is executable file is there now.
Yes, sir.
Okay, first step over Ahalya. Download Excel jar and extract over. Second step, guide me, add Excel jar to Java project in Eclipse ID. Earlier we used the navigation for adding Selenium WebDriver jars. Same navigation.
Yeah.
Follow me. Suppose launch Eclipse IDE. Launch Eclipse IDE. Same navigation as like Selenium. TestNG different. TestNG we installed, but Selenium we added.
Yes, sir.
Ah.
You go to
See, you expand this one. Select SRC. Continue.
right click.
Right click.
Then you go to build path.
Build path.
And then you go to configure build path.
Configure build path. Select libraries tab.
Yeah.
Add
Then add
external libraries, external jars. Here browse. Suppose my file available on in downloads. Downloads. Open this folder. Select JXL jar. Apply. Okay. Now observe left side bottom. JXL jar associated to this project na.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Now come to mainstream. Observe Ravindra. We just prepared 3 sets of test data. This is Excel file. See 3 records. I didn't use column headers. I will give assignment to that one. I directly prepare test data. Observe first record valid, second record invalid. Why? Username invalid data. Third record again valid. My expected output, first record, first iteration will pass, second will fail, third will pass. Okay. Next, guide me, Ahalya. Create the TestNG Pro. Suppose select the project and right click, package and right click, class. Suppose data driven. No main method required, just finish. Okay.
Okay, yeah. Okay, sir.
Now observe just some 4 or 5 lines complex program. Ahalya, Ravindra, Sushma, and um, uh, one more person is there. Sumitra, Amita. Observe. First, I am fetching that test data. Fetching test data. Okay. First, you need to create Ahalya. Create driver instance. Create driver instance. And
File out.
I am going to introduce instead of main method, I am going to introduce array type object. Means that object can hold multiple values at a time. Usually, object can hold single value at a time. This time, I am going to create Ravindra array type object. Two type, 2D, two dimension. We can handle multiple values here required. Why? We are here two fields. 2D object is required. 2D array, 2D object. Okay. Array not required. Okay. You will check. Observe. First, create file instance. File instance. Ahalya. I think you are familiar with file instance. File object, file class is predefined in Java. Create file instance.
File input stream fi is equal to new file input stream of.
No input. File. Suppose f for some name. File equal to. Just I am going to create file instance, not file reader, buffered reader. Just file. For file reader also we need to for buffered reader also we need to pass file reader instance. Here we pass file instance in workbook instance. New file, new file, new file. You take this Excel file. And one more thing, file. That file object point of view, everything is file. Getting this point, Sumitra. Using file
Yes,
object, you can create Excel, PDF also, na. But
Yes, sir.
cannot perform internal operations. We already discussed that concept.
Yes, sir. Yeah, last time. Yeah.
It is file only. Excel also file only. Okay. Just a minute. Semicolon. Okay. It is asking double forward slashes or single double backward slashes or single forward slash. See, otherwise you try this one. Now, no error. Single backward. Now continue, Ahalya, guide me.
Yes, sir. We have to import that file.
Import file library from Java IO. Okay, over. Next, I think you are not, you are new to this one. Create workbook object. Why? We added JXL Jarna. That's why. Otherwise, we cannot create in Java. Workbook. Suppose W or any meaningful name equal to. You need to follow this syntax. Remember this syntax. Workbook dot type G get workbook. Pass the file instance F. Safe side. Why it is showing this one? It is showing observe.
New workbooks.
Pardon?
New workbook. Is it called a new workbook? No.
New not required. Workbook W. Okay. Default constructor can handle exception. Type exception thrown implicit. It is asking BIFF extension. Okay, just a minute. Just a minute. Okay, after that I will remove that one. Tell me main method syntax, Ahalya. After that I will remove.
Static. Okay. Public static void main.
Public static void main of
String.
string
Square brackets.
square brackets. Just a minute. Args. Just a minute. Temporary. Okay, it has to execute Java program. Now I didn't use TestNG annotations.
So you have to open and close the bracket.
Yes. Okay, now observe auto declaration, auto throws, enough. Next, create, observe Sumitra, text file is single entity. The text file, notepad like text file, we prepare data line by line, single entity. But Excel is not single entity. Excel is workbook. It has bunch of sheets. You can prepare some data in, suppose for one test case, you can prepare data in first sheet. For second sheet, you can use test data for another test case or another purpose. For third sheet, you can add or remove sheets also. Getting?
Yes, sir.
Here, bunch of sheets. We need to activate sheet also. Now continue, Ahalya. Sheet. Sheet, for example, S equal to W. Now W is instance. W dot get sheet. Get type G get sheet. Get sheet. Here observe Sushma, Amita. Here you can enter sheet name or sheet ID. If it is sheet name, that is string type data, use double quotes. If it is sheet ID, use just numbers. I think sheet number starts from 0 to n minus 1. Observe Sushma, what is the sheet ID data available in?
That's string sheet 1.
Sheet 1. This is string.
Yeah.
Observe just
String
a
type.
minute. How to write that one? Within double quotes.
Yes. Double quote sheet 1.
Sheet 1. Capital S. Write as it is. Sheet 1. Semicolon. Later we can use
semicolon.
sheet ID also. 0 instead of that one. Import sheet from JXL. Okay. Next. Continue. Who is that one? Ahalya. Now just get rows count, number of rows and columns. Observe Ravindra. Int. I am taking one variable int rows equal to for example s dot get columns.
The rows, sir, because
Get
we
rows,
have
no, sir?
rows.
Okay,
Rows,
I will
yeah.
check this one. Okay, good. Next, we need to capture both.
Okay.
Rows equal to s dot type G get rows. Okay. Just dry run, sample run point of print these two print these two, Ahalya?
System dot out dot printing
What is that one? Columns.
columns.
Columns, just print. Plus,
Plus
otherwise you can use another statement. What is the expected output, Sushma? What is the expected output? Observe our file. It is communicating with this one. What is the expected output?
Yeah, 2 column, 3 rows.
Two
Total
columns,
6.
3 rows. 2 columns, 3 rows. Means 3 na?
Yeah.
2, 3. Suppose I am going to give some comma also example. This is optional. Run the program. Just a minute. Data driven. File not found. I think misplaced. Mistake. Observe Ravindra. You are not using correct file. Otherwise, desktop input XLS.
So we have to use XSF for XSS.
Input dot XLS. Try to run the program. Still, file not found exception.
Sir, what if you just remove the file and use file input stream, sir, once?
Pardon?
In the throw exception, it's in the console. It's saying file input stream.
Just a minute. But it is not asking any exception na. Just a minute. You take that file one. This one. Security. Oh, some path difference is there. Path problem, Ravindra. Earlier path different. That file, that folder available in E drive, but I copied to desktop. This is desktop only. Observe, Amita, observe. Run the program. What is the output? Expected correct na, Amita?
Yes, sir. 2 and 3.
2 and
Columns 2.
Okay. Now continue Ahalya. But we no need to print this one. Just comment it. It's only understanding purpose. Next. Capture that rows and columns count, Ahalya, into capture that rows and columns count into array, 2D array. Okay na?
Yes, sir.
2D array. Say for capturing we need to use string only, but inside numbers, single number na, I think it will take numeric only. We'll try. Suppose string input data. You know how to create a 2D array.
Yes, sir.
2 square brackets.
Yes, sir.
2 square brackets equal to, this is one type, new string, this one I'm passing the parameters, rows, columns. Okay, semicolon. Okay. Next, use for loop to read the multiple values, Ahalya. For
For int
For
I is equal to
int, see, index starts from 0, row count or column count. Otherwise you can try with 1. If it's not possible, standard is 0. Continue, Ravindra. You just tell me this for loop.
int I is equal to 0.
For int I is equal to 0, sir.
I equal to just a minute. Int I equal to 0.
Semicolon.
Semicolon. See, we will prepare same type of script for next example also. That time you can get more clarity quick. I equal to 0, semicolon.
I
I
greater than rows.
greater than, first use columns. Okay, rows. Otherwise, I greater than rows or less than rows.
I greater than col.
Suppose first rows. Greater than rows or less than rows?
I less than is
Less than, not equal to. See, observe. Rows count, suppose 3, 0, starting 0, 0 to n minus 1. N minus 1 means rows minus 1 means less than rows only, na?
yes, yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
See, not greater than, not less than or equal to, just less than rows. Again, semicolon. Next,
I plus
I plus plus.
I plus plus.
I plus plus. Good. Okay, you contribute both. Next, nested for loop required for multiple. We are handling multiple fields now. For example, j equals
Yes, sir.
to
int j is equal to
int
Sorry, int j, right? Int j equal to
int j equal to same 0 semicolon
j less than columns.
less than columns
J
again
plus plus.
semicolon j plus plus open curly braces for second this one columns. What is the problem? Change to columns. Okay, spell mistake.
Spell mistake, sir.
Okay, cool. Next, observe. You read data into an array. Suppose I'm taking one array input. Input data array is there. Input data. First square bracket I. Observe this type of usage. Second square bracket j. Equals to, suppose cells sheet dot, see, combination of row and column is cells, get cells. What is the problem? Get cell, not cells, not class. Get cell. Combination of row and column is cell, but reading time column primary. Observe this usage j comma I. You try with I comma j also. J comma I. Why it is showing type mismatch? Cannot convert cell to string. Oh, I'm going to create cell object. Just a minute. I need to create cell instance. Observe, Ravindra, cell C equal to
s dot get cell.
S dot get cell. S dot get cell, mistake. J comma I. First I am creating cell. Import cell from JXL. Import cell.
Sir, we can also use I comma j, right?
You try that one. I think reading time column primary. You try that one.
Okay. Okay.
Earlier it provide error. Reading time column primary. But writing time you can use I. Next, this one. Observe Ahalya. C comma get contents cell wise.
Okay.
If you just print this one, see here every input data having one line, one line, not here, not line, row concept, Ravindra.
Yes, sir.
Every input data, one row, we will try. I think column by column it has to print, column by column. This is sample. What is that one? Dry run. Assigning time or printing time, use row primary. Reading time, column primary. You check in reverse fashion also. Just perform dry run. Observe column by column capturing na Amita, Ahalya.
Yes, sir.
Column by column capturing. Now you remove this one. Now Ravindra, be careful. You remove this one. Which one? Main method.
Okay.
Remove the main method.
Okay.
Next, create two-dimensional object. Say,
Sir,
observe the
Public,
syntax.
public dot
Public object.
object.
Suppose we are going to use two fields now, two square brackets.
Array.
Here array name, for example, read Excel. You can use any meaningful name. Read Excel, open and close parenthesis. You leave them both. Just a minute. Earlier extensions name, can you remember extensions name, Sumitra? Two auto
Yeah,
extensions
sir.
are
Throws,
there.
BIF exception, IO exception, sir.
Exception,
So
comma,
we need to write throws before that.
throws keyword required.
Yeah.
THRO WS. Throws BIF extension, exception. Next,
IO
capital
exception.
letters. IO exception. Okay, open curly braces. What is the problem? We are creating this one object type method. It is asking a return statement. Observe Ravindra. Otherwise, change return type to void. Here, return type required or not?
Required, sir.
Required. We need to return username and password. We need to return username and password. Observe Ahalya. Suppose if you use void, it won't return anything. Return type required. Okay. Just make it as annotation, Ravindra. Make it as annotation. I removed that main method na. Make
Yes,
it
sir.
as annotation. I'm going to use data. I'm going to introduce data provider annotation. It is new to you. @ symbol. Data provider. Observe Ravindra and Ahalya, Sumitra, Amita. We have reusability concept without inheritance and with inheritance between classes. Once you fetch the data from this first class example, you can use this data with data provider name in other classes. Got the point, Ahalya?
So can you repeat again, sir?
Suppose I am fetching data in this class 1. I can use the same data in another classes now using reusability concept without inheritance or with inheritance.
Yes, sir.
Suppose if a other project we can go for inheritance. Here same project I used anyhow. I used public na. I can use this data for another. You try that feature. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Otherwise, for each and every class, you can fetch the data. Getting?
Ah, okay.
Observe here, one attribute I am going to introduce, name. Name equals to, within double quotes, data provider name. Ravindra, data provider name. Double quotes, that is syntax. Here you can use any meaningful name. Suppose I am using test data. Otherwise, you can use username and password, single word. Single word. Import data provider annotation. Import data provider. Okay, I created data provider. It fetches the data. Now data in pipeline. Now create test cases. Okay, na Ahalya. First you create what is that one? Main test case. Admin login is there na? Create test method for admin login. For admin login, okay, you leave this one. This is data provider. You can use this data provider with that name tested data in the same class and another classes also. You leave it. You create main test case. Suppose WebDriver required na public
Driver, sir.
WebDriver we are defining publicly. Then you can use within blocks also. Import WebDriver bindings language. Import WebDriver libraries. That is correct term. Next, continue, Ravindra.
Sir, do we need to use the annotations now?
Annotations we will use later. You give the test method for what is that one? Admin
Public
login.
void login.
Public void. It won't return any
Void
value.
login.
Admin. For example, admin login. We are fetching data. We
String
need to pass two
username.
sets of data na.
Yes, sir.
What type of
Username,
data? I am going to use
password.
parameters. Observe.
String sets.
Just a minute. Ahalya, you asked na how to pass parameters in TestNG. Same as like
Yes.
in regular Java methods.
Okay.
But only difference is here we are going to use annotation, test annotation. Getting?
Like at the rate of parameters.
At the rate of test.
Okay.
That is
Like this
mandatory.
other.
Attribute.
Okay, sir.
Attribute I will provide. Attribute I will provide. What is the attribute name? What is the name value?
Data providers.
Data provider. Here, observe. Here, there I used name as attribute. Here attribute. I am going to introduce one more attribute for test annotation. Data. Data. P capital. It is fixed. Data provider. Observe Ravindra. Earlier we used some attributes for test annotation. What are they? Can you remember?
You mean priority?
Priority attribute. Next, depends on methods.
Depends on methods.
Next, always run,
Yeah,
etc.
always run.
Okay, na?
Yes, sir.
Test, small letter or capital letter? D capital letter. Okay. Test data. Now import this one. Import test annotation.
Sir, this data provider is especially for this data-driven test, right, sir?
Yes.
That attribute?
What is this data provider? Selected one is attribute of test. This don't confuse. This data provider is annotation. It is for data-driven testing.
Okay. And why did we give name, sir? Name is okay. Beside data provider annotation, why we gave name is equal to
We need to
test
capture that data into this name, meaningful name. Any
Okay.
name, you can give your own name.
Okay. Okay.
One
And
name.
then we are passed.
You
Okay.
can pass this. You can pass this name value in other test cases in the same class by inheritance or something, another test cases in another programs also.
Okay.
See, this complete program output we are fetching into this test data using this name name attribute.
Okay, yes, sir.
Observe, continue, Ravindra. Data provide. Observe, Ravindra. Amita, I think silent mode. Sushma, what is this data provider? Tell me the keyword name. I'm not asking functionality, purpose. Sumitra, what is the selected keyword?
This is
17th line name. 17th line name. Selected one name.
here. Yes, sir. Here the data provider is annotation.
Annotation. At the rate
That's the
symbol is there.
attribute.
Yeah, it's an attribute of that
Attribute of test
annotation.
annotation.
Yes.
Next, 23rd line. Selected data provider is
This
That is the
annotation.
name.
annotation. Main or secondary,
Annotation.
leave it that one. Annotation. What is the keyword?
Yes.
Annotation. I'm not asking purpose or functionality. Just
Okay.
name.
Sir,
This 23rd line data provider is annotation. Here, first letter capital, middle letter capital, P capital. You cannot argue why first letter capital, third letter capital. That depends on TestNG. See, they use it like that only. We cannot argue. Next, here, Ravindra, what is your problem?
sir, my understanding is like if you start with it and then you write something, then we can assume that is annotation. But if you
Yes.
write after test something, then we can assume the
Attribute.
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 Okay.
Okay, na? And one more thing, we usually we provide values for attributes, na?
Yeah.
See, depends on method, we provide value equal to some before test case. Priority equal to 0, 1, 2, 3, that is also value. Next, always run equal to true. True is predefined value. True means it has to execute forcibly. Okay, here also test data is value. Next, continue, Ahalya. You know the test steps na? Create that admin login.
Yes, sir.
First
First
create
have
driver.
to.
String.
Okay.
String. Two fields
Yes, sir.
required. String, suppose username.
Password.
Password.
Just
String
password.
password.
Pardon?
String password, sir. String password.
Comma. Clarity, maintain the clarity. String,
Password.
password. You can use any meaningful names, PWD, RXY, but use meaningful names. Okay. Next,
Okay.
write the method body. Here, every method is every test annotated method is test case in TestNG. First create driver. Driver
Driver
already
is
defined. Say
Okay.
driver
Driver, yeah.
equals to
Equal.
New Firefox.
new
Firefox driver.
suppose
New
Firefox. See, in this old version, if you want to use Chrome or IE, you need to instantiate also system dot set property, something like that. New Firefox driver, open and close parenthesis, semicolon. Import Firefox driver library. Okay. Next statement. Navigate to so and so URL admin interface. Driver dot get. Sushma, continue. Driver dot get. You know the steps. Not
Yeah,
only
driver
Ahalya and
dot get
Ravindra, you also followed.
and
You take this
driver dot get that URL. Yeah.
URL. Navigate
This
to
URL.
which one? Admin interface.
Yeah.
Navigate to admin interface. Okay. Next semicolon also okay. Next enter username. Enter username. Username, we already inspected na. Name,
Yeah.
just a minute. Otherwise, you can inspect. Suppose username. This one. Just a minute. Take this one. Select username. Name attribute. Sorry, name. Element locator value username. Next.
Username.
Next password.
Password.
Name value password small letters.
Password.
Next, just a minute. Login button. For
Login
login button
button.
ID available, value is TDB1. You just remember
TDB1.
these three, isn't it?
Yeah.
You just remember these three. See, Sushma, driver dot find element, by dot name, first username.
Username.
Value is small letters. Username single word only. Dot
Send key.
send keys. Pass the parameter. That argument
Username.
we are using username password arguments na in that method. Here.
Yeah. Send.
You pass. And one more thing, don't use double quotes for variables, parameters, etc. Use parameters only for string type data. Here, just username. Okay. Here, meaningful name you can write. Suppose if you write uname, if you write pwd, just you can use. Suppose uname, just a minute. Uname. Next, save. Driver dot find element by dot name.
Password.
Name value small letters password.
Dot
send keys. Send keys
the
of
value
PWD. Next,
driver dot find element.
Observe, just a minute. Ahalya, are you
Yes, sir.
following this passing parameters in TestNG pros?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
You have declared string and you're passing in send
Yes,
keys
in
with parameter.
method, not declaration. I am using arguments or parameters. I am just passing that one. You can create methods without arguments also, na?
Yes, sir.
Suppose in your test case no test data, that time just create blank parenthesis, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. As like general programs, driver dot find element. Sushma, by dot this
ID.
You can remember ID value
TDB1. TDB1.
Operation is
dot click
operation. Okay. Next, here I am going to use assert equals method.
Assert dot assert equal.
Just a minute. Assert dot assert equals of driver dot just a minute. It imported see JUnit. Remove this one. I don't want JUnit. Assert import TestNG. Suppose mistakenly if you import another one, you can remove that import and continue. See, import TestNG. Driver dot
get current URL.
Get current URL. Comma. What is the actual one?
Actual one is that's the HTTP GCR.
Just a minute.
Admin login.
Not admin login. URL after login. Admin at 123. This one na index page na.
Yeah. We can copy that.
Index page. Actually, we need to collect this from developers. Okay, then you can write not write no need to write any messages. It will give the status pass or fail. Okay, okay. We have one test method. Later, I will prepare one more test case, that is after method. Observe Ravindra. What is the expected output, Ravindra? We are passing this test data. What is the expected? Any this outputs comment? What is the expected, Ravindra?
Expect, so it will pass and fail and pass.
Pass, fail, and pass. Okay. Observe, run the program. It has to execute 3 times. TestNG running. Fast. Just a minute. Just a minute. Third time it is login. Observe Ahalya. I didn't use close. I didn't use this one. Driver dot close na after.
Driver dot close.
That's why.
Yeah, driver dot close it.
That's why it is launching 3 times, but not closing the browser. Observe Ahalya. Try to run the program. First time TestNG running. It is launching browser, navigating to admin, login successful. Next closed, second browser launched, failed, third launched. Still, actually it is not closing browser. Observe.
Sir, I think you have to close the browser after data provider because the written statement is after it.
Okay, this is okay. Observe. Sometimes assert method is failing na, Ravindra.
Yes, sir.
Actually, it is not providing correct output. First time it has to close. Just we will check that one. Otherwise, 3 outputs are same and valid na. Okay, run the program. I think compatibility issue. It has to close. When fails, assert won't close, won't execute next statement. It is not closing. You tell me, Ahalya, what you told? This driver dot close.
Sir, might be if we write at the end of the program, at the total end after data provider, at the end of the.
This one.
No, I don't think so,
Program
sir.
means before this one or 53rd?
Yes, sir.
52 class closing na.
Class, so that is for before 52, sir. If we write it before 52.
Here no main method but class closing. But it is showing this one error. Why? This web driver not fetching.
Okay, might be below, yeah, at 50th line.
Here also it is showing error.
Okay.
Suppose just a minute. After this one we will try, but I think it won't accept. Not accepting.
Yeah, it's supposed to be within that class set.
Observe Ravindra. If you prepare any statements after this assertion, means verification, is not executing. Actually, general rule is after assertion also it has to execute for passed scenarios. For failed scenario, it won't close the browser. Okay, for that you can create one more annotation after method, Ravindra, at the rate test, not test.
After method.
After method.
Driver dot class.
Just a minute. Public
Void
void close
close
browser,
browser.
open and close parenthesis. Here no data. Import after method annotation. Import. Next, for example, driver dot close.
Close.
Now it is accepting. Observe, Ahalya, try to run this pro. This time I think 3 pass. The 3 will pass. Next time I will change the data. First time passed, closed, after method closed. Actually, general rule also, Ravindra, if a verification pass, then it will close, it will execute next statement. But verification fails, it won't execute remaining statements. It stops the execution. That's why after method is always preferable. Why we use invalid data na? For some case, some iterations.
Yeah.
Why it is showing failed? Why it is showing failed?
Sir,
Failed.
sir,
Get
in asset method, we should put the expected first or actual first?
actual first or expected first, both are same only. Both are same.
Okay.
Suppose 1, 1 or 1, 1, both are same.
Okay.
I think this URL, I'm thinking about this URL, gcrit.com/build3. Okay, just a minute. Sometimes it depends on browser. Just a minute. After this one, just a minute. String s equal to.
Sir, we also need to discuss that.
Yes, I'm going to display that one. I'm going to display that one. Then we will find. Just a minute. Run the program. Anyhow, we are using after method. Asset fail or pass, it will close the browser immediately after verification. It is preferable. Anyhow, we use invalid inputs for some test iterations. Here problem is this browser is, it depends on browser versions. This browser is capturing some extra statements. Ravindra.
Sir, I have a question. Sir, in the Excel sheet, the username we have given admin. But I think our actual input should be admin1.
Where admin1? Here observe.
The username?
No, admin only. Admin only. You just stop some time. I will explain. Observe. Okay, our syntax usage correct. Observe, Ravindra. But this browser version generating some extra words na. That's why
yes,
actual
sir.
And this one not correct. Here you try to use observe, Ahalya, try to use any other suitable method. Earlier we used content na instead of equals. Any you try that one?
Dot contain.
Assert. Okay.
Dot contain.
ASSERT. Assert. I think content not available. Not What is there?
Or sir, is it a browser compatibility issue? Then we can try in Chrome driver.
Okay. Browser compatibility issue, but we can handle. What is the problem? We can handle. Assert equals. What it is capturing? Just a minute. It is showing error.
We didn't put asset equal, sir.
Okay, we removed that method now. Just a minute, observe. Observe. It is. Can we differentiate this one? Here method not available. We want this one only, Ravindra.
Sir, can you try that asset dot content equal, sir?
Content
There's no
method not available now.
But you put the asset dot asset. So before you put in that asset, we can use like current content equals.
Content
Asset
method
dot
is there.
contents equal. Content
No
equals.
content.
Oh,
No
okay. I
content
think we
method.
use somewhere, sir, that one.
We used on strings.
Yeah.
Not on this one. Assert equals. It is not supporting substring also. Assert equals. This is browser issue only. False. Okay. We will check Ahalya. Meantime, I am going to use Java this one. I will check TestNG predefined library also. Now you tell me, Ahalya, verification, Java verification.
Sir, if yes, sir. Um, if what is that?
Contains.
Contains. S dot
Contains that so and so string or not.
that particular URL.
Suppose if another string also there, leave it, but contains or not.
Then system dot print.
Yes. Okay, I will check that annotation also, but no that contains method. We will check another possibility. Control space, enter. Earlier we used this syntax, Ravindra.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Suppose login successful. Passed. I actually passed not required. Else. Unsuccessful. Run the program. See first iteration. Admin successful. Unsuccessful. That is the problem. Three
Sir,
failures.
did you capture correct URL, sir? I think you captured admin URL, sir.
Oh, yes, yes, yes. Yes. This one I expected.
Yeah.
Just earlier I used correct only, but in this only.
Yeah. Earlier we used correct one only,
Correct
but
only. Run the program. Login successful. Observe Amita, Sushma, Ahalya. Second time also successful. Observe Ravindra. 3 iterations passed na.
yes, sir.
Next, change the test data.
Sir, can we see here that testing, TestNG result also?
Check, we'll check. Actually, we didn't use that one. Project, refresh, test output, index, open with. It is showing 3 passed na.
Yes, sir.
Next time we will change. Then what will happen? Check it. Just a minute. Observe Ahalya, not rename. First output okay. Sumitra, you told na admin 1 incorrect.
Yes, sir. I realized because it should.
Now observe Sumitra. First record valid, second record invalid, third record again valid. Isn't it?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Our test result will be first login successful, second fail, unsuccessful, third pass. Save the file, close. Run the program. First iteration, it will pass, I think. Pass. Fail, unsuccessful. Observe, Ravindra.
Yes, sir.
Third again, pass. Observe, Ravindra. It is showing 3 pass. It is not correct way. We used Java, na?
Oh, we used else spot.
See, login successful, login unsuccessful, login successful, but it is showing passed only. Say if you use Java verification, it won't accept. You need to use assert only. Okay, I will find the solution for that. What is the solution? We need to compare substring only. I will check that one. That equals method not suitable in this scenario. That is browser issue only. But in the previous batch it executed. But this time, anyhow, we need to provide the solution. That is substring. I will check that one possibility. Just within half an hour, Sushma, can you guide me? Same script. I'm going to take that one. Another example. Same script. What is that one? This time numbers. Just addition operation. Just
Sir, I
add.
just want to know
Huh.
how that, sir, we given just username password as a parameter in right? But I want to know exactly how that username pull the data from Excel sheet correctly from username only, because we didn't give username password in Excel sheet, na?
We didn't give, but we are fetching first value as username now. See, sequence, it will follow the sequence. First value username, second value password. If third value is there, third parameter, sequence.
Okay, so it will fetch from as per sequence.
As per sequence only.
Okay.
You need to follow that one. Next, create.
Sir, I have a question, sir.
Even Excel,
Just a
even
minute.
flat file also same,
Ahalya,
sir.
continue.
Sir, if you go to the data provider test script, sir, the file, the script that you have written for Excel sheet.
Just a minute.
So, so sir, here when we give the name that is public object array read Excel. So in the data provider, we have to always give the name in 2D array only. Or
Not
can we
2D
give any
array.
other name?
Not 2D array. If three fields use the three brackets.
Okay. Or if I'm only using one bracket, then only
One
give
bracket,
normal.
that time array not required. Just object enough.
Oh, okay. So as per the rows,
As per the number
as
of
the
fields, you
columns.
can follow that one. You try that one with single field and three fields, etc.
Okay, but then so this is not compulsory. It should be always like this. So
Why
it's our
compulsory?
own
Why
wish.
you are asking that question? Suppose I am going to return two values. That's why 2D array here. Three values 3D. Suppose single value variable enough. String variable enough.
Okay.
You continue, Ravindra.
Sir.
Sir, I'm asking even that flat file also it will be fetched data at the same way, right?
Pardon?
Even for flat file also,
Flat files,
it will fetch like
is not required. Flat file is not Excel type syntax. Flat file we used buffered reader and buffered writer. Sorry.
No, sir.
File reader
yeah,
and
I understand, sir.
file reader and file writer na for flat files.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But I am asking that 51 lines are string input data is equal to new string rows and columns. It will also work same to the flat files.
No. In flat files, no rows and columns concept, only lines concept. Line by line.
Oh, line by line.
We need to read the line and split the line into pieces. Depends on number of fields. This syntax won't work for flat files.
Yes, sir. Got it. Okay, sir. I'm confused. Sorry, sir.
Welcome. Next, continue, Sushma. Sushma, continue. See if you have any plans, implement and mail me. Read test data from Excel, conduct data driven for. Okay, Ravindra. Addition functionality. Observe. I'm creating new test. Sushma class. Suppose all of you put mute except Sushma. All of you put mute except Sushma. Did you understand the requirement, Ahalya?
Yes, sir.
Any query you are trying to ask, I think.
Yes, sir. Also, can you explain once that workbook is equal to workbook.get sheet? So that is the syntax, sir, like workbook.get.
See, we cannot change that one. We cannot argue that one. We need to follow that one. That is workbook syntax. We need to remember.
Okay, sir.
Sometimes in programming also we need to by heart some things. No issue. No other possibility. That syntax we cannot argue. Why that syntax? We cannot argue.
Okay, sir. Sir, another question. So, like for example, you have 10 rows and 10 columns. So that means when I'm using the array, so it's like okay, row, but the columns are 10, right? Like
column
only one.
Forget about rows. Rows 3 or 10 or 1000. Only column, only field na.
Yes, sir. So when I'm writing the array, so like I have 10 columns.
Yes. Whenever you write array, you just consider columns. No need to consider rows. Rows iterations.
Okay, sir.
Rows doesn't matter. If it is 2 rows or 2000 rows, doesn't matter. Columns only matter.
Yes, sir. Can we try 3 columns? Maybe she will get more understanding.
So how to write like there are 10 columns, sir, here. So how to write in Excel?
You write 10D array, 10D array and 10 dimension array and 10 dimension object.
Okay.
Try that one. No issue. And one more thing. Usually 10 fields, 20 fields, rare situation. Most of the time we use 2 or 3 fields. 10, 20 fields, rare situation. That time you need to create 10D array or 20D array. Observe Ravindra. Otherwise, you can use flat file. Flat file is very simple. Based on that, this one delimiter, you can
Line by
put
line.
number of fields, 20 or 1000. Okay, na?
Okay, okay, sir.
Observe Sushma. If you have any ideas, implement. Observe Sushma. This is my test data file. Getting? I need to capture these. See, 10, 20, 11, 21, 21, 22. Next, just a minute. 31, 31, 32. How many rows, Ahalya? 4 rows na here. Rows doesn't matter. Fields only the matter.
Yes, sir.
Now,
Yes, sir.
provide the same program for this quick, Sushma. This time one small change is there. You need to convert the data. This is a numeric type value. Okay, that we will discuss. First, create the data provider. Before that, just fetch the file. Quick.
So file F.
File. File F equal to.
Equals to new file.
New file.
And the file path.
Path of the file. Just a minute. New file, path of the file. Just a minute. Okay, import file. Continue. Next, create workbook instance. Before that, we already added jar files. Workbook instance.
Workbook.
Just a minute. Workbook, for example, W equals to
workbook. Dot get workbook.
Observe Ahalya. This is syntax. Why no new here? We cannot argue. That is vendor syntax. Sheet of
workbook or worksheet? Workbook, W equal to work.
Dot. Just a minute.
Get workbook. Isn't it workbook?
Just a minute. Workbook dot W. Ravindra, what is this one? Workbook dot W.
You are writing SH. I mean,
workbook dot W equal to workbook dot
get workbook.
Just a minute.
No, sir. Workbook W is equal to workbook dot get workbook.
Get
workbook.
Here file instance. F. Okay.
F.
Semicolon. Next. Here.
And sit.
This one. Auto declaration. Auto exception. Sometimes safe side it asks auto declaration. Next, continue.
Sheet S-H-E-T, sheet S.
Sheet S equals
to W dot get
W
sheet.
Dot get sheet.
Get sheet.
Get sheet. Ahalya, earlier we used this one, sheet 1, sheet name. Now this time try to use index sheet ID. Sheet ID starts from 0.
0. Yes.
Ahalya.
So index of 0.
0.
Yes, sir.
Okay, cool. Import sheet. Import sheet from JXL. Okay. Next, fetch
integer
rows and columns take into variables. Suppose
integer rows
equal to
S dot get
S dot get rows. Next,
int
columns equals to
S dot get column.
Just a minute, spell mistake. Okay. S dot get columns. Okay, display optional. Next, read into array type string input of
input data
square. Okay, input data name your own
square bracket
square bracket equals to
new string.
Okay, new string.
One is row and one is column.
Rows. Next,
columns,
semicolon. Next, just a minute. Spell mistake, I think. Can you continue? Just partial script. Continue, Ahalya. Right, for?
Yes, for
nested for loop is required. 2 fields na. Suppose 3 fields, 3 nested only, 3 fors.
For int I is equal to 0.
Int I equal to 0, semicolon.
I less than 2. 0, 1, 2, yeah.
Rows, yeah. Comma, sorry, not comma, semicolon, I plus plus, next, close parenthesis and open curly braces. Next, again
for I is, for j, int j is equal to 0.
Int j equal to 0, comma,
semicolon, yeah, j
semicolon, j less than columns, again semicolon, j plus plus, open curly braces. Okay.
Sir, here I have a quick doubt, sir. Quick question. So, sir, for example, here we have rows 10 and column 10. So, if I use this logic, it will automatically print all 10 rows.
Yes,
and 10 columns.
it will automatically print. Here, logic is then a greater than rows. Suppose rows equal to 2, 3 iterations, rows equal to 9, 10 iterations. Then what is the problem?
Yeah, so that's one. So that time need not to write ND array and all. Right?
Logic is enough for irrespective of rows and columns.
Okay, yeah. Okay, sir. Yeah.
We were asking this question. Observe, Ravindra. Rows and columns size irrespective na. In this scenario, we are using logic na. Less than.
Yeah.
Starting value 0. Next, plus plus means up to end. Up to greater than. Equal to rows or columns. Then yes, sir, what is the problem with the number of rows and columns, Ahalya?
Actually, it doesn't matter number of rows here.
It doesn't matter.
Data is in the sheet. It doesn't matter. It will iterate.
Logic will iterate. What is the problem, Ahalya?
Okay. No, sir. Like I asked a question, right? Like if there are 10 rows, then 10 D.
Here we are using logic. Then just think about. Just think and try to implement. Here we are using logic. Then what is the matter of rows and columns? If it is 2 rows or 20 rows or 1000 rows or 1 lakh rows, it will iterate.
Okay, yes, sir. Got it. Yeah.
You implement. This is a simple one. Logic only will do that one. Continue.
Okay. Then yes, sir. Then we have to get rows. That is int row is equal to.
Just a minute. What we have to do first? Within this for loop, for loop, cells create cells in cell.
Yeah, cell C is equal to.
S dot method get cell. Reading time I told na, column first, comma, row. Column, comma, row. Semicolon. Next, import this cell. Import cell from JXL. Next, continue. Suppose data, read data.
Yeah.
What
So,
is that one? Input data, na?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Input data equal to not equal to what is that parameter? This one I reading time row row next column J
So,
equals to C
then
dot
that is C dot get contents. Sir, here we have to convert into integer.
Conversion not here. Usage
Okay.
time.
Okay, usage time. Okay.
Usage. Good question. Usage time only, not here. Okay. Next.
Okay.
Remove that. Just remove this one. Main method and create object here. Remove this main method only. Remove this main method.
That is public.
Public object. Suppose 2D. Just a minute. Suppose array name. Suppose this object name. You can use any meaningful name. Read Excel, open and close parenthesis. Still, set method return type. Return type. Oh, any problem? Observe Ravindra. Here we need to write return type.
No, sir. Spelling mistake, sir. Public.
Public is spelling mistake.
Return type also same. Return type also problem. Okay, good. Public spelling mistake. Next.
That's sir, it's working now. Return input data.
Otherwise, you try to remove
return
this
read
one.
Excel, sir.
You try to remove this one. It is asking. Add return statement. Okay. Now come to mainstream. Ravindra, create that addition test case. Addition. Suppose you add two numbers. Fetching data. Okay. Add two numbers. Before that, provide this annotation. Ahalya annotation at the rate data provider of name attribute name equal to suppose Ahalya.
Okay, yes.
You can use any meaningful name within double quotes. You can pass that name. Okay. Data provider, import this annotation. Next, continue Ravindra. You create here WebDriver not required. You create addition test case. Suppose at the rate test.
Public.
At the rate test.
Yeah, at the rate test.
Next.
Data provider.
Data provider equal to Ahalya. Next.
Public.
We need to import that one. I will import. Public.
Void.
Just a minute. Import annotation. Public. Void. Suppose
add.
Addition or add. Suppose addition or add. And one more thing. Observe Ahalya and Ravindra. Sushma. Reading time string only. Okay, na?
Yes, sir.
Reading time string only.
String only.
And I forgot one thing. I mistakenly told that one. Observe Ahalya. Suppose if you want to 3 fields, Ahalya.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
2D array only.
Yeah.
2D object only. 4 fields, 10 fields, 20 fields, 100 fields. 2D only. Why? Yeah. Irrespective of the field, we are reading Excel, rows and columns. Suppose 2 rows, suppose 2 columns, 2 rows, 10 columns, 2 rows. Any difference?
Yes. No, sir.
No difference. Observe this one. I mistakenly told that one. Not required. For that, I'm going to use that one. Observe. Just a minute. Use one more field. Suppose 30. This time, number of fields more than one when it compares to previous one.
Yes, sir.
Rows also. Intentionally, I provided that one. 30. Just a minute. 31, 32, 33. Here also logic will work, Ahalya. I mistakenly told. Logic will work.
Okay. Yeah.
Observe. This time, observe Ravindra also. 3 fields na?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Suppose addition. Just a minute. Save this one. Not only 3, you can create 100 fields. Array, see, depends on Excel only. Excel tabular format, rows and columns, 2, maximum 2 only. Maximum and minimum also. 2 only, Ahalya.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Now observe. Now continue, Ravindra. We have 3 fields now. String.
Yes, sir.
String. Suppose meaningful. num1, comma.
String num2.
String num2, number 2. Suppose
string num3.
String num3, comma string
So
num4.
the first one you mentioned I, sir, instead of 1.
Pardon?
String num1 you mentioned I instead of 1.
Yes, 1 only. Okay, good. Next, I already told na Sushma.
We need to convert.
We need to
Yes,
convert into integer type. For that, we need to take predefined class integer class. Suppose
integer type.
integer class is there. Just a minute. Int a equal to int a
String
equal
num1.
to integer. This is common. Integer dot type p %. For double value that I will send to you. Now you focus on int. %. What is the string?
String num1.
Num1. Okay. Every Java statement should end with semicolon. Just a minute. It's multiple mandatory. Suppose string b, int b, int c. Suppose num2, num3. Now, Ravindra, you can easily, my operation is, my test case is add 3 numbers. Suppose
int result is equal to
int result, another variable,
a plus b plus c.
A plus b plus c, semicolon.
C.
Suppose if you want to display statement, just a minute. Display statement not belongs to this one method. If you use void also, it will display. Suppose if you use a return type, then no display required. Okay. Next, SYSO, control space, enter, result. Here I didn't use pass or fail, just count. Count correct or not, verification required, that you insert. Observe, Ravindra, just I am taking the count addition. That count is correct or not, you give expected, and you use verification point, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Any other? Here, anyhow, I am not taking WebDriver support. Take that one, run. Observe, who is she? Sushma, Ahalya.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Is showing first one is 60, second one 63, third one 75, fourth one 96.
96.
Just a minute, I will give Unix. Just a minute. Suppose one Unix only 31, 32, 94. Okay. Okay na? Is it okay na? Not second one. First one not okay. Second one not okay. 21. Not 21. 21. Okay. 31. Okay. Just a minute. 22. 32. Now observe Ravindra. Okay. Okay. Numbers doesn't matter. 10, 20, 30, 11, 21, 31, 22. Not 20. 12, I think. 12, 22, 32. Next.
13, sir.
30. 20.
23, 33.
23, 33.
Okay, now.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Uniform. Okay, save this one. Just a minute. Run the program. Just a minute. All of you put mute. All of you put mute. Observe Ahalya 60, 63, 66, 69. Unique na?
Yeah.
And I am going to give one or two assignments to you. Observe. All of you put and observe. Observe Sushma. Here 2 points cleared na. Your 2 points Ahalya. Observe. What is the first point? Irrespective of fields. Okay.
Fields, yes. Yeah.
Irrespective of fields, we can use 2D array.
Yeah.
Isn't it? Why? We are handling Excel only, Excel file. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Excel. Just a minute. Excel has 2D data, tabular format, 2-dimensional data. So irrespective of the field, we can use this one. This is note 1. Next, one more thing you asked na. Tell me that one.
Sir, data provider.
Irrespective of rows. Rows and columns. Irrespective of rows and column size, we can use logic and before this one, we can use nested loop and logic. Any query, Ahalya?
No, sir.
Something you are trying to tell. What is that one?
No, you asked me. You asked that. Was the other question that I have asked? Okay. So
here only na you confused rows and column size.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Their logic will do if it is 2 rows or 1 lakh rows. And one more thing, yeah. Mistakenly I told several times I told fields also irrespective. If it is 2 fields or 20 fields or 30 fields for data driven testing, use 2D object and 2D array only. Why? Why?
Yeah.
We
Because
are
it has
reading
got.
Excel file data. In Excel
Yeah.
format is 2-dimension only. Rows and columns only. 2-dimension, not 3-dimension. 3-dimension means
Yes.
height, length, width, etc.
Yeah.
Example.
Yes.
In
Yes.
Excel,
Yes.
if it is 20 fields or 100 fields or 1000 fields, we are reading two values. We are reading 2D format. In the
Yeah.
previous
Yes, sir.
2D format only. Earlier we read 2 fields. This time we read 3 fields. And also
Three fields.
Ravindra asked, how can you say first one username, second one password? Here also observe same. Starts from first field. Getting this one,
Yeah.
Ravindra.
Yes, sir.
If you use 10 arguments, first arguments will fetch first value of Excel, first column, second field, second.
Okay, sir. Okay.
That is common. Okay.
Are we getting a lot of noise, sir? Can somebody mute, please?
Okay. Ahalya, put mute Ahalya.
Yeah, it's fine, sir.
Okay. Say, anyhow that I will check. Number of fields also there. Assignment I will check and give. I'm going to close the session, today's session. Any queries, Sushma?
No, sir, I'm good, sir.
Okay, Amita also good. She messaged. And what about you, Ravindra?
Sir, I'm fine, but one thing from my side, when can we use that implicit explicit wait time, sir?
That along with Selenium IDE.
Okay.
That's not related. In
Okay,
that
sir.
chapter, time will, I think 20 minutes will there in that class. That I will explain. That one, implicit wait and explicit wait. Simple concept. But in Selenium IDE, set tool feature is there, synchronization point. You can increase or decreasing time. But in Selenium WebDriver, through programming only, we can increase time. Okay.
That program is the thread.sleep, right, sir?
Thread.sleep only one. Another method also there for wait. WebDriver command also there. I will explain.
Sir. Okay, sir. Okay.
Okay. Amita, okay. Ravindra. Sumitra, any queries regarding this today's session?
No, sir. I'll go through the notes.
Okay.
I got it.
Okay. If you have any queries, mail me. Ahalya?
Yes, sir. Sure.
Ahalya?
No, sir. But they only have there's another annotation called at the rate of parameter where you pass the parameters to XML from TestNG to XML. There's other annotation called at the rate of parameters where you pass that parameters to XML file.
See in my syllabus no XML. You restrict to this syllabus only. Okay.
Okay, sir.
If you want to discuss all concept, I think it will take 2 or 3 years program. Okay. Meantime, if you are in real time, if you find any difficulty, then mail me after the program also. Definitely I will try to provide solution.
Okay, sir.
Krishma.
Yes, sir. So tomorrow, what class do you have? I mean,
Selenium IDE and synchronization in Selenium WebDriver. Miscellaneous. Actually, Selenium WebDriver completed. Tomorrow Selenium IDE, only one class. In real time, nobody using Selenium IDE, but I will explain how to create test cases in Selenium IDE. Simple one. Tool features available. And day after tomorrow, I will explain project from onwards. Day after tomorrow onwards.
Okay, sir.
Okay. We'll meet tomorrow.
Okay, and also will you let us know about SQL classes, sir?
SQL classes I will check. I have so many schedules. I will check, and otherwise I will provide alternate to you. No problem.
Okay, sir.
Okay, we'll meet tomorrow, same time. Thank you.